Michigan State has obviously played very well in the series. Michigan did win the game last year. Your thoughts about the Michigan football team as we approach, let's see, we've passed the third way mark into the season. And when you look back upon our conversations and your perspective on this team and what you expected to see through the first 5 games versus what now you've witnessed through the first 5 games, what are some of the highs, the lows, the concerns versus some of those bright spots?
You know, I kind of like what Air Force coach Troy Calhoun said a few weeks ago before his team played Michigan, is that, you know, if Michigan only went with their defense and special teams, those units by themselves would be bowl eligible. Okay, now I think that might be a little over the top, but I think it's a pretty good snapshot of where we are at. I think those 2 units can compete with anybody in the country. I think the best unit in the Big Ten that I've seen, and I've watched every team play multiple times, I think the Michigan defense is the best overall unit in the conference. The special teams, you know, we had a couple of punting issues in a couple of games early on. Other than that, though, you know, Quinn Nordin's been one of the best kickers in the country. Our coverage units are outstanding. We already have a punt return for a touchdown. So those 2 units are ready to go. They have reloaded, not rebuilt. I think offensively, it's gone slower than most Michigan fans had hoped. And, you know, I think I tried to warn you before the season that while there was a lot of hype about Michigan's receiver grouping being the best group of receivers in terms of talent that Harbaugh has had yet, that is a unit where traditionally, I think I told you this, newcomers and freshmen have a hard time making immediate impacts right away because so much is based on timing. So much is based on you as a receiver have to read the coverages almost as much as a quarterback does. And that just takes some time. And I think we've seen that early in the season, compounded by the new offensive line starters on the right side of the line, a lot of lack of communication there. Nolan Aluzio, according to Pro Football Focus, who's been a somewhat starter at right tackle, has given up 5 sacks already, according to their metric data. I mean, the left side of our line, I think, is really good with Brent Bredesen and Mason Cole, and even they struggle a little bit in pass protection against Purdue, but the right side has been a real struggle. And that, as well as running backs doing whatever the Ole chicken wing pass protection technique is. They didn't teach me that in high school, so I'm not sure exactly what the hell that is. Got one of our quarterbacks killed, so let's hope they don't do that again. And I suspect we'll see that a lot on Saturday because under Mark D'Antonio, we've seen Michigan State every year, and it's blitz the water boy, blitz the cheerleaders, zero blitz scheme, safety in the box, corners on an island, and you saw Wilton Spate kind of tear that apart last year when they didn't have Trey Waynes and Darquez Denard and corners of that caliber in the secondary. I don't think they have that yet this year either. So now we have to see whether John O'Korn is capable of taking advantage of that, because we know that is the defense we are going to see from Michigan State.